Welcome to a special edition of G1 Toys, where we have a bounty to settle. We will be tackling this immortal hunter with a conceptual view of his most recent patent. Join us and we shall rule the galaxy as father and clone. Get ready for the Black Series review of Boba Fett with his white prototype armor. Let's get started with how this anomaly became an instant cult classic suit with an ever-growing fan base. A true fan favorite amongst all Star Wars gurus. Son to the also popular Jango Fett, this Mandalorian clone has rocketed his way into two of the original Star Wars movies and earned his respect by all of the diehard fans. Oddly enough, this is an origin story surrounding the origin of Fett's costume and its creation. Initially, this costume was conjured for Boba Fett to be a super stormtrooper, but later became the cherished bounty hunter we know today. The suit debuted on June 28, 1978, and was worn by the assistant film editor of The Empire Strikes Back, seen here. The figure's first release starts as part of the Vintage Collection and was a mail-away in a 3 3/4 inch scale, but the version you are viewing today is a larger scale and has some different paint apps that make it unique to that one. Walgreens has outdone themselves and became a hotspot for Star Wars and Marvel fans, with the release of the new Agent Venom figure being a first-time Walgreens exclusive. Soon to follow came this Boba Fett, and quickly their notoriety soared. On a side note, I thought I would mention this amazing customization of the new Boba Fett by Chris Veach. It was made to encompass the original Super Trooper idea of Joe Johnston, and a few extras included a different box to capture the feel of what a prototype should be, and a newly modified rifle straight from Revenge of the Sith. Also, some time went into detailing areas that would greatly change his appearance to the trained eye. Hats off to you, Chris. So, some very good things to come from the Black Series. Look for the Shadow Squadron at Target as an exclusive to the store, and the new releases of Yoda and the TIE Fighter pilot should be making their way to the store shelves soon. So let's go ahead and take a look at Proto Fett's box. Starting with the top, you get the Boba Fett emblem. At the top, they basically just made it see-through. When you get down to the bottom, you got Boba Fett prototype armor, ages 4 and up, and then you have the Star Wars Black Series right there. No artwork on the side. On this side, it is see-through. And then on the back, you get this little short story about the prototype armor. If you'd like to pause that now, you can read that. Right there, you get a picture of Boba Fett, and then there at the bottom, you have some more information by Hasbro. So let's go ahead and open him, set him loose from his tomb, and take a look at the immortal legend. Welcome back, and here we are to do some measurements between the original Boba Fett and the prototype Boba Fett. Let's go ahead and take a tape measure to these guys. Looks like they're going to come in right at about 6.5 inches total. So, the same exact size. Both figures are the same sculpt as well. Let's go ahead and start with the original Boba Fett, and we'll kind of go over what he's got going on. He's got a lot of paint apps on this original Boba Fett, and I really, really dig on it. I think it looks excellent. All those little battle damaged areas with the silver paint looks fantastic on this figure. Everything obviously has been painted very meticulously. The Hasbro has really done a great job with the Black Series thus far. His cape is going to be, the lighter beige with the darker stripe there on his cloak there. And, just very all-around cool paint apps. Just reminds me of the movie. Fantastic job on this Boba Fett. Even the backpack has the battle damage going on, and I really dig on that too. Look at the back of the helmet. It looks really cool. So yeah, you know what? Between the two figures, this one is the most impressive so far, but when we take a look at prototype Boba Fett, I really liked what they did with him too. In certain areas, there's some black flaking and there's some silver paint as well on him. Being that this is the prototype, you do have to see it like this, but there are some paint colorations that are a little different in certain areas, like on his arms, on the upper portion of his arm here, and then on this portion, completely different whites. This is more like an off-white, and this is more like a bright, stark white, right in your face white. So I kind of like that. I really dig the fact that they did make those changes. He just looks really good all around as well. As you can see, there's some paint apps there that they did that are silver as well. Everything looks great for what this is, and which is a prototype. They even did a little red on his harpoon gun. That looks really cool too. On his backpack, they do have some silver as well, painted at very top there, which looks amazing, looks very nice. Everything is very cool on this figure so far as well. You know, impressive, but not on the level of the first Boba Fett. Let's go ahead and take a look at his accessories. Okay, so these two guys come with the same set of weapons. The original Boba Fett's weapon, this rifle right here, is very nice. They got some really nice paint detail here in the rifle. As you can see, the silver etching there looks really nice. The handle is painted as well, and then on the tip, there's some cool silver, looks like some silver wash or airbrushing on there as well. So that looks very nice. This gun is amazingly detailed. Again, a little bit more impressive, obviously, than the prototype gun being solid black. There is his pistol. It is kind of a light brownish color with a silver on the front, and then on the top you can see it there as well. So they've done an excellent job on the gun detail for Boba Fett on the original figure. If we take him aside and look at the prototype weapons, we're going to go ahead and take a look. It is the same sculpt, just a black instead of the extra details, what you get with the prototype. Same with the rifle, exactly the same. Very cool in their own right. I still like them both quite a bit. Can't pick one over the other necessarily, but what I appreciate is that with the prototype, you kind of expect that. You don't really want all the extra stuff with a prototype, so you get less detail, but it's still very cool. Also, the guns are a little bit of a soft material. They're kind of flexible and they can move around. I really like the fact that you can fit that in his hand and he grips it so well, he just is not going to drop that at all. Also with the pistol, the trigger finger actually goes in the gun, which is very nice. It's a very cool addition as well. If you're so inclined, you can remove this gun also and holster it right here. And that is so cool. What a great addition to this figure. So already I'm loving and digging on the accessories for Proto Fett, and I can't wait to see the rest of him. So next we're going to take off into Boba Fett's sculpt and his articulation, starting with that head. I really like the paint apps that they put on his head with that silver. Looks very nice. The silver on the back looks extremely nice as well. I really dig on all that. Even the black looks great within the white there. He does rotate 360 on the head, and he does look down about that far and up about that far. He does have a little bit of a head pivot. He does have a ball joint under there. That's what makes that possible. His arms do move all the way around 360. He does have a single jointed elbow bend is what it feels like. He's got some forearm swivel, and his harpoon actually moves independent of that swivel. So that's really cool. He does have some articulation in the wrist, and they do move as well to articulate with weapon poses. So it has a hinge there in the wrist, as you can see. Very cool so far. I'm loving the articulation, loving the look of this guy. Down into the chest area, I like the fact that they painted these Mandalorian trophies kind of an off gray white feel to kind of offset the contrast between the white and there. It looks really, really nice. I really like that. You know, Wookiee or Padawan braids, you be the judge on that, huh? So let's go ahead and move on into his articulation into his waist. He has a swivel in the waist. He does have ab crunch to the front, ab crunch to the back a little bit. He does have some hindrance in movement because of these pouches for that ab crunch and for some leg movement as well. But he does kick up like that far, and he has some upper leg swivel. His legs do move out about that far. He has the double jointed knee bend, which is fantastic. His feet do move up and down, and he has a wonderful ankle pivot as well. So you gotta love that. Everything is looking great so far. I like the fact that the holster is there for the gun, and it actually holds the gun. That was a really nice addition. He does have peg holes on the bottom of his feet. And then last but not least, his backpack is removable, which is nice because you can tuck that cape. It's actually really nice to tuck that cape in and just hold it in place. If you put that right on over that cape, it'll hold it right where you want it to stay. So very cool. I like this addition. It's very nice so far. Cannot complain whatsoever. So, you know, once all the hype for this figure has settled, it's really a good time to do a true grading for Boba Fett. So we're going to get to that next. Straight into appearance. Do we really even need to do this one? Come on, guys. This is a perfect 10, and you know it. And into articulation. You know, even though there's things on Boba Fett here that hinder his movement a little bit with articulation, I still really like what he has going on. He's very posable, very nice display figure. So I'm going to go ahead and give him an 8 in articulation. On into durability. I really like the way Boba Fett feels as you articulate and manipulate him in his poses. Manipulate sounds like I'm a hypnotist or something. Anyway, his durability is really good. I do like the fact that he does not feel like he's going to break. However, his guns are a little soft. They're not necessarily brittle. They're just kind of bendable. So those are a little bit of an area of concern possibly. Also, the little piece on his head could break off over time, I'm thinking. Also kind of another bendable material, not too bad though. Also his Mandalorian trophies are another area of concern, but otherwise very durable figure. I'm gonna go ahead and give him an 8 in durability. If your name is Jedi Luke, look out because Boba Fett's aiming his harpoon gun right at you. For collectability, guys, he is gonna get a perfect 10, and I say that because he's a Walgreens exclusive. He's a exclusive figure also in the right that he was an old prototype of Boba Fett, which Boba Fett is just amazing anyway. And then you got a cool white prototype. He's just beyond cool, guys, and he deserves every bit of that perfect 10. Check it out, Hasbro, because your figure gets an overall score of 9. And I don't mean the German's translation. As always, it's a pleasure to serve you and bring you a unique and sought-after action figure. The G1 lesson of the day: ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do to satisfy your Boba fetish. Thanks again for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram. When these aren't the ones you're looking for in a sand speeder full of droids, turn to the Force and channel your inner toy. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Ooh. 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 What the hell?
Yes, it is I, the ghost of Star Wars past.
Why do you wake me from my slumber? I was dreaming of Slave Leia.
I was sent here to make you think of your life and its direction. Come with me, and we shall travel to a time roughly 30 years ago.
Damn it, this better be good. Wow, where are we?
I thought I would bring you to a time just after Han was released from his carbonite freeze. They seem friendly, don't they?
Heh, yeah, they sure do. I wonder if he's gonna get any later.
Point in fact, he is not. What?
Why?
Because Han's sex drive has forever been crushed by the long-term effects of his carbonite tomb.
So, you mean when I took part in his capture, it ruined his chances at having children?
Yes, he is now quite impotent.
Oh, man. No one should mess with anyone's junk. That's just wrong.
It doesn't end here. Let's travel yet again to a time roughly 40 years ago.
Oh, I don't know if I can handle this. Whoa, where in Obi-Wan's twat are we?
We have ventured to Kashyyyk, where we see the mighty Chewbacca in training.
What kind of training?
This is his English class. Observe.
Okay, class, I want you to pronounce the vowels A-E-I-O-U, and then we will study how to properly meet and greet a Mandalorian for peace and treaty purposes. Starting with Chewbacca. Let's hear it. No, Chewbacca, that is not correct. Clearly, we need more time. I will set up a personal class with you. That's right, you big silly.
And why am I watching this?
Because on your armor, the third braid to the left, was this teacher who promised Chewbacca his shot at English, thus starting a war between the Wookiees and the Mandalorians.
Oh, boy, this is way worse than the last one. Take me home now. I'm done.
So, Boba, have we learned something today?
Darn Skippy I have. I'm gonna turn a new leaf.
I'm so proud to hear that.
I'm gonna go picket the carbon freezing factory and then I'm gonna go sleep with a Wookiee to unite our cultures once and for all.
Oh, I never should have taken this job.